Streets are indeed the drivers of culture and connect. It's the Rah, the path that keep the city alive.
The answer is walkable cities, period. Right now where we are in Sunder Nursery is an excellent example of that.
If you see a building like solely on its own, it won't answer any question for you.
The screen time has taken all the time of us. Building without life is lifeless.
I think intangible heritage perfectly aligns with that word on life between building. That is one of my favorite book itself.
We have to be rooted to where we are.
Can we actually design new heritage?
The answer lies in good urban design.
Everyday heritage exists in shared spaces, like our everyday routes or local street where collective memories are made. But today there is a disconnect. We live in silos, often not knowing the person next door, because our environment have forced us inside, behind the screens. Today, Professor Saran Bhatia is with us, whose work sits at the intersection of urban design and the preservation of human experiences. Through his global initiative, Lifeline Rah, he is advocating for a world where walkable cities would be the answer for the future. So welcome to the conversation, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, Noreen. And it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful place where you've chosen. And I'm all ready to answer all your queries which you may have regarding walkabilities. And what you said was absolutely apt. Yes, today we live in silos, and that's the sad part. That needs to be changed. The answer is walkable cities, period. Because when you make cities walkable, obviously, air quality will be addressed, and then only they'll become walkable.
So this is going to be interesting. Let's dive into it. The name of your initiative, Lifeline Rah, implies that it's the Rah, the path that keep the city alive. So can you please walk us through the core intent behind this initiative itself?
The core intent is that people have stopped walking and we want to make them walk.
Okay.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And there can be nothing better than walking. And then after walking would be cycling, maybe, perhaps. And idea is to meet people, greet people, and enjoy the life around whatever you see here also. As we are walking, we have the water bodies, we have the nature to get inspired. Nothing can be better than this.
Was there any breaking point that made you realize that human lifeline or this walkable thing is being cut off from our generation or in general?
I think this idea came to me during the time of COVID.
Okay.
When, the Almighty gave us the signal. All the skies were blue suddenly, and they were initially grey. So I took that as a strong signal that, something needs to be done. And all my professors, my gurus, I spoke about this idea with them. And what they said was, Saran, why don't you initiate and we'll support you.
Okay.
So that is how it went, and I feel so blessed.
Oh, that's nice. So did you already had in mind that it's going to be global, or you started from the local initially and then eventually it happened?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
I would be very honest here.
Yeah.
We started with Delhi only, because I stay in Delhi. So Delhi climate was important to me. Yeah. But then soon I realized, and I corrected myself, no, not Delhi, it should be the entire India. And then I corrected further, because we are all interconnected today, the entire globe, it has to be a global campaign.
So over the few videos, we have been talking about everyday heritage as a concept. And in context of heritage, streets are indeed the drivers of culture and connect. So how would you frame that?
Yeah, because most of the things happen on the street. And I think there we can actually see our culture with close proximity. All the good things happen when you're walking, because you see the world around. And in that world, you see arts, you see heritage, you see culture, you see people, you see life, you see nature. All of them come together as a cumulative experience, and that is what really matters.
I think you perfectly defined how the texture of the city change, when someone is walking in contrast to when you are sitting behind the windshield and seeing it through that lens. So, in your opinion, how does the texture of a city change when someone is on foot versus when he or she is sitting behind the windshield? Do you think one vision is real than the other?
You see, one is sitting behind the wheel, you don't register anything. What you register is just a fast track movement of, scenes all around you. You don't store any information because your focus is on the destination rather than, what is around you.
Journey.
And if you're walking, obviously, you understand, you absorb the world around you.
I think we can associate more with our surrounding when we are walking.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's a fact. Like when cars take over and the eyes on the street disappear, what's one thing that we can permanently lose, or what's one thing that no museum can ever get back?
Well, we lose life, really, so to speak, life all around, because you don't register anything. You're just behind the wheels, your windows are shut, you're totally cut off from the world. You don't hear what is outside, you don't hear any noise, you don't hear any sound. So there's nothing. All you can hear is whatever is happening inside that metal box. So that is the major difference.
So, as we say in architecture, that buildings shape people around it, and the same saying goes in the context of heritage as well. But do you think this one sided association with the built structure itself somehow dismantle the muscle memory of our culture?
That's a very interesting question, and I would like to address it in a very different way than what you had actually intended. I would say every structure or every building gets associated or gets grounded when it has a dialogue with the nature, because nature makes all the difference. If that element is missing, I don't think so, we have the complete picture.
That's a really interesting take on that question, because I think if you see a building like solely on its own, it won't answer any question for you, right? So in everyday heritage, we often talk about like how buildings shape people around it and how it helps us being ourselves as well. So we can't like disassociate it with from the heritage field altogether, but we need to combine it with the context.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I quite rightly said, I think the building doesn't exist in alone. It exists with the context around, and we have to see the complete wholesome picture of that particular place and what it is trying to convey you. Whether it gels with the surroundings or it doesn't gel with the surroundings, that's very important critical point over here. So don't see building in individual as an individual, rather than see it as a group of buildings, or let's see it, you see it as a frame, just the way you see from your eye. So whatever comes on your eye, that becomes your observation point. Building without life is lifeless. So you have to see building with people around and how they're using the building. That's very important.
I think what you just said right now perfectly resonates with Jan Gehl's book on life between buildings. That is one of my favorite book itself, and I just love how beautifully it describes all the elements that are associated with building and the people in general. So that's
Absolutely, I fully agree. I mean, he's done a wonderful job so far, and he's my guru as well. I consider him as my guru, and what he says is I totally accept that.
So as you advocate life beyond the screens, so do you think we are forgetting to live in a physical city because the environment is too hostile to walk in?
Yeah, I think the screen time has taken all the time of us, and that needs to change. And there is definitely a difference. Not that I'm against screens, I'm not, because we have to move with times, and this is the era when everybody is on screen. But then balance is the essence of life. How you can balance both the things together and give meaning to each other.
Since you have mentioned the word essence, I think intangible heritage perfectly aligns with that word. So do you think if neighborhood becomes unwalkable all of a sudden, and many neighborhoods are actually, so this can also impact on the intangible heritage that we have?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, neighborhood has to be walkable. We just can't think of it to be unwalkable, because it will affect everything over there, and it will be a big blow to public in general.
So is there a place that you particularly love based on whatever we have discussed till now? Like that sets on everything that you intend on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The place which I love is right now,
Yeah.
presently, I thrive on social currency, okay, and nature.
Hmm.
I think these two combination of these two things is what I love today.
Okay. And is there any like practical example of this concept, like any city in India, any town, any place?
I think right now where we are in Sunder Nursery is an excellent example of that. Let's take the case in point.
Yeah.
And you see it's totally walkable,
Yeah.
it's totally enjoyable, and you can see all around people, they are interacting with each other and they are enjoying life. I mean, this is what it means. And this kind of places can be found in bits and pieces in different parts of India.
So I believe that you have a fascinating take on spaces in general. So do you also believe that bad urban design often limits us and it makes us feel like tourists or strangers in our own colonies?
I would say urban design is the basis of examining any city, any particular area, and the solution to all the problems which are facing today, the answer lies in good urban design.
Okay.
I strongly believe in that, and that good urban design today is way different from urban design which we are used to.
Okay.
There is a new ideology which I believe which has to be a global ideology. Today we are all global citizens. We have to be rooted to where we are, but yet we must possess global personality.
So are there any particular element to that new urban design concept which you can share?
Well, you can do so much. I think you can, wherever you are, you can make things happen, create conditions where people can come together, maybe enjoy life, and enjoy the surroundings. I think that's very, very important and critical here. Apart from that, I guess it's not only just walking on the streets and making the spaces interesting, but how you gel with the surroundings is very, very important. So how a particular facade of a building kind of interacts with the rest of the space is also very, very important. So that is where urban design would also play its role.
So there is a question that keeps lingering in my head since the time we have started our conversation. Can we actually design new heritage? Like there is a concept of lived heritage in our field, which states that heritage is not at all static. It's not simply curated, it is lived over the years. So if we are to design streets today where people want to hang out, will that be considered a heritage 100, 200 years from now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think here I would like to point out one thing. The name of my firm, ever since I graduated from SPA, is Design Heritage. What we design today at some point of time will become heritage on its own, provided you design it with that intent. And answer to your question, the living heritage, I guess it becomes living when it's with the people around there. They start enjoying the spaces around, the buildings around, the people around, the flora and fauna, everything put together. I think then it really becomes a heritage in real sense.
So, for someone listening who might feel disconnected from their own cities, maybe people who are living alone in bigger cities in general, what's one tiny everyday thing that they can start doing from tomorrow which may help them reclaim that feeling?
I think something which gives them joy, and that's something I feel which is true with me. I think hopefully would be true with everyone. Listen to music, good music,
All while walking.
all while walking, I mean, just keep music with you all the time.
Okay, well, that's a nice. Before moving on to our concluding conversation, I would like to ask, is there a mantra to make any city happier?
Obviously, to make any city happy, your air quality has to be perfect. It should be under the good, because air is like a fuel to your body. And if that fuel is contaminated, you become toxic, you become contaminated. It's like a virus acting into your system, just the way virus enters into a computer and it misbehaves. Similarly, it happens with us. So, air is one of the things which we rely on. I think that, and if you see cite the examples of all the happy cities in the world, their air quality index will be good.
And I think that's the motto behind Lifeline Rah as well, right?
Absolutely, it starts from AQI, but motive behind is better worldliness, which is way beyond what we have spoken so far. It's your connect with the Mother Earth, and at the same time, your connect with the Almighty.
So, since Lifeline Rah advocates for more livable and walkable cities, I'm just curious to know, is a walkable city fundamentally a happier city or just a more efficient one?
It's definitely a happier city because it is walkable. That itself makes it happy, you know, and of course, it will be efficient as well. It will be both, but more happier than more efficient, because sometimes you have to do things which may not be so efficient, but I think I would give more importance to happiness rather than
Over
giving
efficiency.
efficiency. And you've seen the example of smart cities and how they have not delivered what they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is where the finer differences lie.
And we would be happy to know like some future vision of your initiative, Lifeline Rah.
You see, Lifeline Rah at its core is to promote better worldliness. So that covers the entire canvas as to how we live and what we should actually aim for in life. So that is what it is all about. And we have brand ambassadors all across India, all across the globe. We are looking for more. We are looking for brand advocates, because alone I can't do everything. I need people all around to help me out and support, so that we go worldwide and spread this word.
So, if you are someone who is interested in this initiative, you must look out for the page or for his page on LinkedIn.
Thank you for having me in Everyday Heritage Collective. It's my pleasure to be part of this, and this is where you come across heritage which is all around us in every part of the world.
So, this conversation has really shifted my perspective. And it's simple, really. Heritage isn't just something we see or we visit, it is the path we take to get there. If we stop moving through our streets, we stop belonging to them. So, the intent is simple. If you enjoyed this conversation, stay tuned as some other interesting conversations will be dropping soon.